Hey guys, I'm Sarah. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a tag video. It's actually two tags in one. I meant to do this in February, doing the February readathon. However, it didn't work out. I actually filmed this video at that time, funnily enough, but I was in a weird space when I filmed that, and it turned into an unhinged, delusional, deranged, strange sort of video because my brain wasn't there. I had what I call zombie brain, where I can't even remember what I did 1 second ago. So I have learned, don't film videos when I feel like that. And secondly, I deleted that video. So anyways, we're going to be doing that today instead, and that is the fairy tale retelling tag and also the fairy tale tag. So these are two tags in one. The fairy tale retelling tag, I was tagged to do this by Lindsay from BFCG, so thank you very much, Lindsay, for tagging me in this. Yeah, and I'll talk about the other one when I get to it. But yeah, so we're going to start with that one. The first question is, what is your favorite fairy tale? I actually have like 3. I haven't read too many original fairy tales, enough to remember them and know that they're my favorites, but I do have 3. They're Rapunzel, Cinderella, and the Nutcracker. The Nutcracker does have a really weird ending, with kind of like a child bride thing. It was kind of strange. I didn't quite like the ending of that one, but I did like the overall story of that one, so, you know, sometimes fairy tales have weird elements where you're just kind of like, okay, that happened, but yeah. Those are my 3 favorite fairy tales. Rapunzel's obviously my favorite, but yeah. The second question is, what is your favorite retelling of that story? And, yeah. Okay, so for 2 of these, I have 2 books to answer. Well, it's not technically a book, but, you know, I'm cheating. So, you know, it's my video, my rules. Anyways, for Rapunzel, I have quite a few Rapunzel retellings that I like, but my favorite is probably the Lady of Lanaria. Actually, my favorite is the Lady of Lanaria by Michaela Bush. This is a non-magical fantasy or Christian fantasy retelling, and yeah, I love this one. Well, book-wise, because my favorite Rapunzel retelling of all time is Tangled, which is technically a movie, but there is a novelization, so that's why I'm doing it. I adore this story. This is a story that has done so many things for me. I love it. It's like my all-time favorite movie, so yes, and it is a retelling of Rapunzel, so obviously it had to go on this list. So for Cinderella, I only have 1 retelling, at least book form, that I really adore, and that is Cinders, Stars, and Glass Slippers by Brittany Fichter. I read this recently. I adore this book. It is my favorite Cinderella retelling of all time. I adore it. I've read a lot of Cinderella retellings, and I like a lot of Cinderella retellings, but this is the one that made me love it, and yeah. Cinders, Stars, and Glass Slippers is my all-time favorite Cinderella retelling, and then for the Nutcracker, I only have 2, because these are pretty much the only 2 I've read that are retellings of this one, and the first one is... Let's try that again. And the first one is Clara Soldier by Brittany Fichter. This is like a World War II historical, but with like a magical flair to it. I adore this. This is probably I think this is the first Nutcracker retelling I read. And yeah, I really, really love this one. And for the second one is obviously A Dance of Rebels by Michaela Bush. This is another Christian non-magical fantasy. And yes, it is a retelling of the Nutcracker. It has a gorgeous cover, and I adore this one. I read it for several times last year, but yeah, I really, really love this book. So yeah, those are my favorite retellings of those fairy tales. Question 3, what is your favorite retelling of a different fairy tale? Now, I have a huge list, but I narrowed it down to books I own so that we're not sitting here forever and I'm not editing things forever. So yeah, I'm just gonna go through these fairly quickly. The Crownless Prince by Selina R. Gonzalez. This is a gender-flipped retelling of Maid Malene. Never read the original, but I adore this retelling. And then we have The White Slipper by Brittany Fichter. This is a retelling of The White Slipper, which also I've never read. Apparently it's a more obscure one, but yeah, love this one. I mean, I love all of these, so that's kind of a stupid thing to say, but whatever. And The Prince's Dangerous Wish by Brittany Fichter. This is a retelling of The Pink, which is another lesser-known fairy tale. And these all have beautiful covers. And The Enchanted Wreath by Brittany Fichter, which is a retelling of The Enchanted Wreath. Another one I've never read. The Pink I have read, so that one at least I do know the original of. I don't know the original of most of these other ones though. Then we have, oh, this is probably like one of my, if not my, I don't know if this would be my favorite of this list, but it is A Lonely Dance by Selina R. Gonzalez. This is a retelling of the 12 Dancing Princesses, and also the first book of that series, Thieving Curse by Selina R. Gonzalez, one of the only two Beauty and the Beast retellings I love. So yeah, but yeah, this one definitely love that one. So yes, love all of these. I have a million more that I could list, but you know, you don't want to sit here all day, so we're not going to do that. Question 4, what kind of style of retelling do you prefer? Steampunk, futuristic, etc. I'm pretty open to anything, as long as it's a good story and a good use of a retelling. Yeah, I would say pretty much anything, though I generally gravitate more towards the books that are like more the traditional like medieval medieval fantasy type style, but I do like others, sci-fi, dystopian, contemporary, even historical. It has to be a well-written story, but yeah, I'm open to pretty much anything. Question 5, what 2 fairy tales would you combine for an amazing retelling? Okay, I actually have some ideas for myself to write fairy tale retellings in the future. None of these are concrete ideas. But yeah, they'd be like, I have different ideas for like 2 different, like, it would be like series, because one would be more of a comedic, zany sort of fairy tale retelling series, which I don't even know if I can write comedy, so I'm not sure about that one. And the other one would be a little more serious and more along the lines of what I already write. But yeah, for the more zany side, I have an idea for 2 stories in that one, where one of them would be a combination of Rapunzel, Sleeping Beauty, and Puss in Boots. I know it's a strange combination, but I have reasons behind why I think those 3 can go together. And the second one would be a combination of Snow White and The Little Mermaid. So another strange combination, but I have reasons to think that those would combine really well. I also have a vague idea of like a, I forget what I was going to combine. I was going to combine Cinderella and I think it was the 12 Dancing Princesses. I'd have to look at my notes, but I don't know about that one. It'd be like later on in the series, but the other 2 are definitely ones I want to try. And for the more serious type fairy tale retelling series, it'd be kind of like along the lines of like what Brittany Fichter writes or Selina R. Gonzalez. So, so you know, not too serious. But the one book I have an idea for in that one would be a combination of the 12 Dancing Princesses and the Nutcracker. Considering both of them deal with dancing, I mean, the Nutcracker itself, the original tale doesn't, but the ballet does. So those 2 tales are seen with dancing a lot. I figured those would work together. There's also like a soldier character in the 12 Dancing Princesses. He could be the Nutcracker guy. So yeah, I really like the idea of that one. I don't have anything concrete about that one or even the other one. That most of those are just ideas right now. But yeah, definitely ones I want to try to write in the future. But those are just some vague ideas I want to do for myself. But pretty much, I don't know if they'd be amazing retellings, but I would hope so. But yeah, I really think those would be interesting combinations to put together. Okay, question 6. What retelling book is on your TBR that you would like to read soon? I don't have a specific one because mood reader. I can't really do specific books that I want to read at specific times, but I do want to continue Brittany Fichter's Classical Kingdom series, which Cinders stars and Glass Slippers is a part of. Those are all fairy tale retellings. I do just want to continue reading those throughout the year. So yeah, those are all high up priority on my to be read my TBR pile. But yeah, who knows when I'll get to them. Okay, question 7. What was the last retelling you finished? Actually, funnily enough, as I'm filming this today, I just finished A Lonely Dance today. So actually, this is a different answer than what I had before, but okay, it works. We're just flying off the seat of our pants now. Yeah, I literally just finished this morning. I was buddy reading this with Celestia and Lindsay, but yeah, we had a blast talking about this. We're still kind of organizing our thoughts and stuff like that and talking about it and stuff. But yeah, I really enjoyed revisiting this book. This was a reread for me. obviously 12 Dancing Princesses retelling. I'm kind of tempted to reread A Thieving Curse now, because I did not reread this one before I read this one again, but yeah. I don't know, we'll see about my mood reading, but yeah, this is the last one that I read. Question 8, what fairy tale have you not read a retelling of but would like to? I can't really specifically think of a specific fairy tale I haven't read a retelling of, but one that does come to mind that I've like heard lots of people like the original fairy tale. I've never read it. It's compared a lot to Beauty and the Beast. That is East of the Sun and West of the Moon. I don't think I've ever actually read a retelling of that one. There might have been elements in some books that I've read, but yeah, I've never actually read a full retelling of that one. So, and it sounds like a very interesting tale, because one author like explained the tale because one of her books had like elements of it in there, and it sounds like a very interesting story. So yeah, I'd like to read a retelling of that particular one at some point. Question 9, what is one retelling you are currently anticipating coming out? I'm going to cheat and say 2 because I'm very excited for both of these. One of them doesn't have a cover yet, and that is A Stolen Heart by Selina R. Gonzalez. This is going to be book 4 in the Merivale Chronicles series, and I'm very excited about this. Very curious how she's going to take this, because it follows a character from the 3rd book, Fated Quest, which I wasn't entirely happy with that character at first, even though I understood their actions. But yeah, it's going to be following that character. It's going to be inspired by the Goose Girl. Yeah, I'm very excited about that one because it's a Selena book, for one thing. I love her books. So, and for another, I'm just really interested to see what this story is and where it will go. Yeah, and the second one is The Huntsman's Heart by Brittany Fichter, and here's the cover. She just revealed it last week, and yeah, it is beautiful. This is a Snow White retelling, and it's going to be book 12, I think, in her Classical Kingdom series, and it's going to be, if you've read her book, Beauty Beheld, which is the 3rd book of the series, you will have met Henry, who was a young boy in that one, and he made an appearance in Cinders, Stars, and Glass Slippers. I've loved him from the beginning, and it's going to be his happily ever after with the Snow White character, and yeah, I'm really thrilled. I'm really excited for this book. I don't think this one's going to be coming out until later this year. I don't know when A Stolen Heart's coming out either. I think they're both closer to the end of this year, but I'm super excited for them no matter what. Okay, question 10 is to tag some friends. But yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody or most people I followed have either been tagged for this or have done the video. So I'm going to skip that one. And we're going to jump to the second tag, which is the fairy tale book tag. I believe this was created originally by Rachel Reeds. I will leave a link to her original video, or yeah, I'm pretty sure she's the one who created it. If that's wrong, I'll put it down at the bottom of the screen my correction of it. But either way, I will put her original video, and I will also put Lindsay's video of the Fairy Tale Retellings book tag down below in the description if you want to check them out. But yeah, I saw Cellier doing this one as part of alongside the Fairy Tale Retellings tag. Wow, I can't talk. So yeah, I really wanted to try doing this as well and just lump these two together like she did. So yeah, we're going to just jump into that one now. And the first question is Rapunzel. A long book you gave 5 stars. It has to be over 450 pages. Yes, that would be Cinders, Stars, and Glass Slippers. This book comes out at least the Kindle edition comes out at a whopping 594 pages. This is a big chunker. I'm assuming as a physical book, it might be a little bigger, so it might be closer to the 600 mark, but still, it's a big book, and I adore it. It's, like I said, my favorite Cinderella retelling ever now, so yeah, it is definitely huge, though. But reads very quickly, though, so don't be intimidated by its size. I should have mentioned this before, but for these questions, I'm only going to be using fairy tale retelling books, except for one exception. Yes, Celestial used a bunch of other books, but I decided it would be fun and to challenge myself to only use fairy tale retellings for this tag. So, yeah, these, except for one, are going to be all fairy tale retellings. So, back to the question. The Little Mermaid, a book that took your breath away. Okay, so this one I had to think about it for a minute, because it's like, what did that mean? What does take my breath away? Because, you know, often, like, the climax will do that in a book to me. But I decided to go for the most shock value of a series, and I'm going to go with the Lunar Chronicles for that one. Specifically, Scarlet, Cress, and Winter, which are books 2, 3, and 4 in the series. Yeah, a lot of these twists and turns in these books kind of took my breath away because it's like, what? Yeah, I read all these originally in like within like a week or two, and you know, these are big books, so yeah, I haven't reread them since I really want to, but I didn't put the first book, Cinder, on this list because the big twist at the end with Cinder, I guessed that one because I was like, okay, that's probably what's going on here, so that one didn't really enthrall me as much, but yeah, the twists in the rest of the series definitely did, especially in Cress and Winter, I think it was. There were a bunch of things going on where I was just like, what? But yeah, yeah, definitely love these books. They're all fairy tale retellings, so yeah, I just, yeah, really, really like these, and I do want to reread them at some point, but you know, who knows when that'll happen. Oh, my books fell over. Okay. Now that we have that all organized. Okay, Swan Lake, a book with the theme of sacrifice. So, this one was also really hard to do because it was like, often the theme of sacrifice is the climax. So it's like a spoiler, but I do want to put for this one, which the characters kind of had to sacrifice things throughout the book, or at least to themselves, to others, whatever. So I kind of feel safe putting this one on here without giving spoilers. And that is Before Beauty by Brittany Fichter, which is my second favorite Beauty and the Beast retelling ever. And yeah, this one has the characters sacrifice quite a bit to do certain things with each other and stuff. So it's kind of, that element kind of continues to the climax too, but I feel safe saying that without giving away huge spoilers. So yeah, definitely Before Beauty fits this prompt. I can't talk. Please forgive me. Okay. Rumpelstiltskin, a book that changed you. Okay. So I don't know if a book has changed me, so to speak. I'm thinking too deeply about these books, about these questions, but whatever. But I'm just gonna go with a few books that that helped me in certain situations in my life that I needed most, and just needed reminders of, or needed like pushes of, and whatever. So the first one is Cinder, Stars, and Glass Slippers. This one was the most recent one I read, obviously, and because I've been talking about it nonstop in this video. Yeah, this one definitely helped me in a certain area of my life. The next one would probably be my Las Vegas Airman by Brittany Fichter. This is a very loose retelling of The Princess and the Pea. It's a contemporary romance, and yeah, this one, some of the things the main character Skylar was going through definitely showed me that I was doing kind of the same things. And then the last one that, at least that was a fairy tale retelling that kind of changed me in certain ways when I needed it, was The White Slipper by Brittany Fichter. This book still hits me. I don't know what it is about this story, about these characters. This one definitely shifted my perspective on certain things, but yeah, I definitely really love this one, and I want to throw another one on here as well. That is A Lonely Dance. This one, Tristan goes through a ton of stuff. Our main male character, Tristan, he goes through a lot of stuff, a lot of depression, a lot of self-loathing, and learning to forgive himself, and that is something I sorely needed when I read this book, and I still kind of sorely need. But yeah, so yeah, this one definitely helped change me in a certain way as well. Okay, now I've got books everywhere. Okay, let's see, where was I? Okay. Cinderella, a book with a self-sufficient character, but not snobby. Okay, for this one, I'm going to pick a really old favorite. I haven't even read this one, but, reread this one in a while, but I do remember the main character, Penny, being very self-sufficient, and that is An Inconvenient Princess by Melanie Cellier. This is a Rapunzel retelling. It is the last in the Entwined Tales series, which is like a multi-author fairy tale retelling series, and yeah, I remember Penny being very self-sufficient, very, like, taking care of all these people that she keeps coming across and stuff and things like that, and yeah, she wasn't snobby at all. I actually really liked her. The 12 Dancing Princesses, a King series you love, or a book with lots of characters. This is where I'm breaking the fairy tale retelling This is where I'm breaking the fairy tale retelling cycle, because I don't have a fairy tale retelling series that I would consider king, though I do have one that could be. I will say for the fairy tale retellings part, The Classical Kingdom series by Brittany Fichter could become a King series. However, I have not read the whole thing. So I didn't feel comfortable putting just the few books on here that I have read as like, this is a King series, because it's like, no, I've only read like 4 of them. So, and there's 11, gonna be 12 of them. So yeah, I have not read them all to determine whether they are King series or not. So I had to go with the one series that I know is a King series, and it's not a fairy tale retelling. That is the Ilyon Chronicles by Jaye Knight. Everyone saw this coming, I'm sure. If you didn't, please put in the comments down below what series you thought I would say, because I'd be very curious if somebody didn't guess I was going to say this series. So yeah, this is Christian non-magical fantasy. No fairy tale retellings in sight. It is a King series. I still haven't finished it yet. Please do not come for me in the comments, Celestia and Reese. Sleeping Beauty, a book with a slow plot. Okay, I could say Cinders, Stars, and Glass Slippers again. That one did kind of have a slow plot, but this one was slower, but that doesn't mean not interesting, because there are some books that have slower plots that are still very interesting. This one falls in that category, and this one did have a slower plot than Cinders, Stars, and Glass Slippers, and that is Turret by Camille Peters. Camille Peters. I can't talk. Okay, this is a retelling of Rapunzel, and it's pretty much a very slow plot because they're stuck in a tower the whole time. So, yeah, pretty slow. But yeah, I really love this one, and I really love the fall vibes of this cover. Mulan, a book with lots of action. So, most of the books I read generally have action in them, but I wouldn't say necessarily lots, but this book does have a lot of, like, running away, trying to keep away from people, so I would consider that action. That is The Princess Spy by Melanie Dickerson. This is a retelling of The Frog Prince, and it is a Christian historical romance, young adult. And yeah, this is like one of the 2 top Melanie Dickerson books I love, or at least did. I have not reread this one, so that could be subject to change. I really hope it doesn't, though. So, yeah. But this one definitely has a lot of action. They're trying to keep away from people. They're trying to run all the time and stuff. There's even a little bit of fighting towards the end. Most of the time, they're just trying to evade people. But yeah, some bandits attack them. Lots of crazy things happen in this book. Aladdin, a book that transported you to a whole new world. Okay. I've probably said a million times, I've had plenty of books that transport me away. But one that really did it recently is a short story in the Aliferous collection by Alissa, Jaye, Zavalianos. This story, it's a collection of short stories and poems that all relate to birds in some way. So yeah, this one, it was Like a Star. It is a Peter Pan retelling short story in this anthology, and just something about that story just had all the magic. It just transported me to where the characters were going and stuff. So yeah, it was the most recent example I could think of that transported me to a whole different world, because like they're flying around in the stars on a ship that's like made out of stars or something. It's like, it's a really cool, neat story. But yeah, it just felt really transported by that one. So yeah, Like a Star for this prompt. Alice in Wonderland, a frabjous book with a great cast of side characters. I don't know what frabjous means. I'm pretty sure like an eclectic collection of characters, like lots of different characters. So yeah, I decided to go with Hansel and the Gingerbread Queen by Leah Doe. I'm not sure how to say the author's last name. I apologize. Maybe it's Doe. I have no idea. So yeah, this is a short little novella in the Villains Ever After series, and it's a retelling of Hansel and Gretel. I love the characters in this one, because you have different characters. You have a couple brownies, you have a cookie dragon who's like really tiny, so like he's a character as well, and then you have obviously there's like a pixie too, and then there's like our 2 main characters, which I forget the girl's name. I forget the main girl's name, but Hansel is the other one, other character. And yeah, they were just an eclectic, like, nice little group of friends, and I just really liked their dynamics. So yeah, I don't know if it fits with the frabjous cast of side characters, but yeah, I really just like the dynamic between all of them. Okay, and wild card, your favorite fairy tale retelling couple. This was the meanest question on here, to be perfectly honest, because I could point to any of these books and be like, I love this couple for whatever random reason, because yeah, I mean, fairy tale retellings, they're all about romance and stuff like that. So definitely, I was gonna say one, but I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna say two of them. Tristan and Alara, I believe is how you say her name. They're amazing. If you've read this book, there's no words to describe these two and how I feel about them, because they are just perfect for each other. They are amazing. The whole book is amazing. Just please read Selina's books because they're all amazing. And the second one, which was going to just be originally my only answer, because this was really, really hard to pick, and this was like the meanest question in the world, that is River and Elliot from The White Slipper. I don't know what it is about these two and their romance, considering they're not even together for most of the book, but it's just something about the sweetness of it, just the willingness to be with each other even though they don't know that much about each other, and just, I don't know, just the whole situation. Something about their relationship just gives me all the warm fuzzies, and I just love them. So yeah, I would definitely say these two are my favorites, but do know every single fairy tale retelling book, at least most of them, if I love the book, I probably love the couple in them too. So it's kind of not really a full answer to this question, but these two are definitely tops. But it would probably change depending on what book I was reading at the time. But yeah, definitely River and Elliot would definitely be at the top, and so would Tristan and Alara. So yeah, that's it. Those are all the questions for both of the tags. I am not, like I said before, I'm not going to tag anybody because I'm pretty sure everybody I know has either been tagged or has done this video already. So, and I'm kind of late to the party because of previous unhinged video that I didn't post. So yeah, but if you see this video and think these questions look like fun, feel free to answer them either in the comments down below or on your own videos. And yeah, let me know if you do this video on your own channel, because I would love to see it and get some more fairy tale retelling recommendations. So that is it. That is all. That is the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for listening to my rambles and my mess ups of words and stuff, because this video is going to be a beast to edit. But yeah, because of all that. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Bye!